What's up, football family? Welcome to the Fantasy Football Show. I'm your host, PL Culture. It's week 3, and if you haven't noticed by now, there's a lot of quality players just dropping like flies around here. So if your starting roster or your backups are starting to look like a mash unit, have no fear. Your boy's here. We're going to give you some scoop on who to pick up to maybe patch yourself over to get your starters back and get you back in groove for those fantasy football playoffs. Now, if we just take a look at some of the people who may not play this week, it's a who's who. We got Michael Vick. We have Tony Romo. Jamal Charles is definitely out. Miles Austin definitely out. Dez Bryant may not play. Aaron Hernandez will be out, the quality tight end for the New England Patriots. And you can just pick anybody on the Giants team. Their whole team looks like a mash unit. So if you're needing some help with replacing some of those people, holler at your people. We got you hooked up. Now, let's get started. Now, the first person that jumped out at me was Eric Decker, wide receiver of the Denver Broncos. Now, Decker basically came out of nowhere. These past 2 weeks, he's accumulated 294 total yards and 3 touchdowns. Now, if you're in a league that gets points per reception and return yards, then Decker might actually be a must start this week. He's been solid in the return game. He's been solid as a receiver. He had a breakout game again last week. He did pretty good in his opener against Oakland. And he's facing the Tennessee Titans team that has been susceptible to giving up big plays. Now, their offense, speaking of the Titans offense, is pretty good. So Denver will have plenty of chances, hopefully, as a diehard Titans fan, will have plenty of chances to return kicks. Decker has been solid his first 2 weeks, and I think he deserves a shot to be, if nothing else, one of your reserves. Now, speaking of those said Titans, another good player that you may want to consider would be Nate Washington, wide receiver of the Tennessee Titans. Now, I know in the past, when it comes to fantasy football, you would never put Tennessee Titans wide receiver and start anywhere in the same sentence. But good news, Titans fans. These are not your father's Titans. This is not the 3 yards in a cloud of dust. This is not the 3 plays and a field goal Titans. These Titans actually can get the ball up and down the field, mostly because of Matt Hasselbeck. Hasselbeck has been a very solid quarterback for the Tennessee Titans. Lit up the Baltimore Ravens for over 350 yards. Now, how does this help Washington? Well, for one, Washington was actually there from day one since Hasselbeck came after the lockout was over with, and he's developed a really good rapport with Hasselbeck. This last week, he had 7 catches for 99 yards, and he also has the benefit of playing opposite of Kenny Britt, a.k.a. the Beast, number 18. Now, there's also another prolific playmaker in the backfield, Chris Johnson, who's still getting his legs under him and still getting his cohesiveness with the offensive line. And once he becomes a viable option again, that should open up things for Washington. If you saw the game last week against the Ravens, Washington was in single coverage the entire game, and he was lighting that corner up. So if he's still out there on your waiver wire, pick him up. Depending on the matchup, he may be a must-play for you this week. Now, we're going to get into our viewer pick for this week. Now, this pick comes from a gentleman by the name of Danny Padilla. His fantasy football name is Diddy DeVito. Nice name, by the way. And he wants to show some love to Mike Tolbert, running back of the San Diego Chargers. Now, I'm kind of feeling that pick. I mean, Tolbert, he has been solid. If you look at his stats, he has 17 catches out of the backfield already. And most importantly, at least this week, he's playing the Kansas City defense. The Kansas City defense that couldn't stop an offense with brake pads, calipers, rotors, you name it. Sorry, I used to work at a tire shop, but I digress. Look at the numbers, y'all. I mean, Kansas City has given up 89 points already in 2 games and almost 800 total yards. And this wasn't against New England and Green Bay. I mean, for goodness sakes, this was against Buffalo and Detroit. So if you have San Diego, you already know that they're going to jump on top of them early and probably run late. So Tolbert will definitely be a good play. He may even vulture some goal line carries and get you a couple of touchdowns as well. Now, Mr. Padilla, a.k.a. Diddy DeVito, also has a super sleeper pick. The first ever super sleeper pick for those who be sleeping on your boy. That was pretty nice, huh? But his super sleeper pick for those of you in deep fantasy football leagues would be Mr. Jesse Holley, wide receiver of the Dallas Cowboys. Now, if you're not around Cowboy country or you don't have Spike TV or not a fan of Michael Irvin, you might be like, Jesse, who? Jesse Holley, Holley. Holla at your boy. Last week he had a breakout game, 3 catches for 96 yards and almost a touchdown, but the game-winning catch in overtime did lead to a Cowboys win. Now, why would you want to put Holley at least on your bench as a super sleeper? Dallas is a passing team, and Romo has nobody to throw the ball to this Monday night. Miles Austin has a hamstring injury. He's definitely not playing Monday. And Dez Bryant, as of today, we haven't heard word one way or the other whether or not he's going to play. So he's questionable at best. Now, the all-world tight end Jason Witten, now he's going to be a focal point of the offense, but you would have to be an idiot if you're a Washington Redskins defensive coordinator and don't roll a safety over the top of him. Somebody has to get those passes. I mean, Felix Jones is nicked up. They got a rookie in Tashard Choice, who the coaching staff has no confidence in the backfield. So the only thing you have is Romo airing it out. And Holley has played in the league before. Yes, he did win a reality show to actually get his spot in training camp, but to his credit, he's still in the league. He hadn't got cut. So for you super sleepers who's sleeping on the super picks, try to say that fast 3 times. Holla at your boy Jesse Holley. And good looking out on that, Danny Padilla. Much love. Now we move on to our Homer Alert pick. Now, if this is your first time watching the show and you're not sure what a Homer pick is, shame on you. Tune in every Wednesday. Now, the Homer pick is that guy that you play week in and week out because of where you drafted him or because of his name value. So it's basically a pride pick. Yeah, he's your first round pick, so there's no way you're going to bench him. Not so fast, my friends. This week, if you're an owner of Mr. Arian Foster, running back of the Houston Texans, be on Homer Alert. Now, he's been having hamstring problems all throughout the shortened training camp, all through preseason, didn't get much work there. He sat out week 1, came back week 2 with a sensational 33 yards rushing and 7 yards receiving against the Dolphins defense. Ouch. Another thing working against Foster is the fact that the backup running back, Ben Tate, has been beasting lately. He's been very solid, and the Texans have been winning. So even if you are Gary Kubiak and Foster's healthy enough to play, you may want to ease him back into the lineup a la Chris Johnson with the Tennessee Titans. It will definitely be a timeshare, and he may be somebody that you definitely want to avoid this week because Houston will be taking on the New Orleans Saints, and it may become just a flat-out shootout between the 2 quarterbacks because both secondaries are kind of sketchy. So if you're an owner of Mr. Foster, be on Homer Alert. Now, that concludes week 3 of the Fantasy Football Show. In closing, we always like to say that life is a sport, so always play again. Again, good looking out to Danny Padilla, a.k.a. Diddy DeVito, on showing you some fantasy football love. Go check out his picks, put them on your team, and beat somebody's head in this weekend, all right? God bless. I'm out.